Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chai with Us podcast. This is episode number 38. I am Erica, the personal developer.
Hi, I'm Ivana from Ocala Isabel.
Yay! And today we are going to be very brave and talk about our New Year's resolution. So you can come at us and say, "Have you done it already?" And
That's right.
maybe we will come up with a few tips on how to do it and share our process. Let's see how it goes.
Yes.
Hmm.
This morning I'm drinking a chamomile tea.
Okay, and this afternoon, okay, so I'm drinking heartwarming tea from Yogi Tea. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it has, let me see, orange peel. I have it here so I can tell you. Orange peel, basil, and chili.
Interesting combination.
Yes, and it's good. It's good. I tried it the other evening, just I don't know, a week ago, and I was like, yummy. And it has this. You feel the chili like at the end of the sip, and it's so good. I think it's too hot now. Okay, now I can't see anything. Uh, okay, so how do you want to do this? I'm very excited because I don't know your resolutions, and I'm curious about.
I feel the same way. I can't wait to hear what you have. And I think that there might be some that are overlapping, which always happens.
I don't know. You may be surprised at one. I think that one I
Okay.
told you already, but um, okay. So, was it difficult for you to come up with your New Year's resolutions because of the situation we're living in right now?
A little bit, yes. But then on the other part, I just really wanted to focus on what do I want to happen in a normal day. And so I
Mhm.
didn't go out, oh, like I want to make this amount of money. I want to travel to these countries. I did not do that this year for the first year ever. All the
Wow.
years before that, I would always say, oh, I want to visit. I would make a list of all the countries I wanted to visit that year. And now I did not do that because of what's going on.
Okay. Do you think it's helping you become more focused now that you don't have all these I don't know, maybe distractions because if you
Yeah.
travel then you can get distracted, right?
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
I agree. I think it's made me focus on what's really important.
Yeah. I feel the same way. For me, it was very easy to think about what I want to do. It's like a month ago or so, I decided like really like this is what I want. And and I took some time off. The only thing I'm doing on social media right now is actually our podcast. I just dropped everything and I was like, okay, let me focus. I dropped
Mhm,
teaching yoga and everything. And I was like, okay, let me think about what I really want to do because there was so much noise around
mhm.
me, a lot of stuff. And so everything that happened to me this year just led me to, okay, let me focus on what's important and in the lifestyle that I want to have. And so writing this down was very easy for me because it was obvious. Like what I wanted was
Right.
very obvious.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
So do you want to share one by one? How many resolutions do
Sure.
you have?
I have five. How many do you have?
I have three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really want to focus on those three. There are other things that I want to do, but I do them anyways.
Mhm,
I'm not
mhm.
worried about the other stuff. So I'm going to focus on three.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Should I just
Share
get started?
Share it. Share your first one. Come on.
Okay, so my first one is ask if it's in congruence with my health. Which basically means that whatever activity I'm doing, ask myself, is this healthy for you or is this something that's going to deteriorate your health? So, for example, now, okay, I want to go meet a friend at a restaurant. Is that really a healthy decision right now? Because let's say in Alabama the cases go up and that it's dangerous to go eat at a restaurant. So then ask myself, is this really a healthy decision you're making? And if the answer is no, then don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what I want to practice more of. Ask myself before I do anything, is this something that is healthy for you or is it something that's not healthy for you?
Wow, that's very good, and I love that the fact that you started with a goal, that it's not like based on stuff, like on
Mhm.
things that you really want to achieve. It's just like an ongoing work, and it's
Yes.
great because I think it's a great example on how goals can be way more philosophical than just
Mhm.
get that money, get that house or stuff like
Mhm.
that. So I really love that you, and that it's very specific, you know,
Yes.
because one of the goals I have is just, and it's to prioritize, you know, self-care. It's not on the list, but it's because I'm
Okay.
doing it right. I'm doing it right now, and I know that I'm committed to that, because I
Yes.
usually have like 3 to 5 goals, and then I have my unnegotiable things.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things is like to prioritize self-care. But I love that you have a very specific, you know, way of
Mhm.
taking care of yourself. It's very important.
Yeah. And actually, I have self-care as number two. So it's, I feel like it's similar to like prioritize your health, but it's
Yeah.
self-care to me means so many different things.
Yes. What does it mean to you?
Well, for me, self-care is as soon as I get home, I have to go and do my 1 hour meditation. And I do my meditation in a completely dark room, and I just sit down and I meditate, and it helps me just like make sense of the day and like come back into like a good feeling about being home, a restful feeling. And so that's to me is my number one self-care is to come and like
Hmm.
really prioritize my meditation as soon as I come home.
Oh, wow. But it can be different for so many people.
Mhm.
It can be a massage, you know, give me a
Yes.
massage. It can be, I do prioritize meditation and yoga, but for me, it's like self-preservation more than self-care, you know, because I know I need those practices.
Mhm.
But yeah, it looks different for different people. And it's good for you to know like what works for you, and what actions show yourself that you do care about yourself. So
Mhm.
that's cool.
Yes,
So
thank you.
sure, thank you. So one of my goals this year, it's to move from where I'm living now. In 2021, I want to be in a different house. I live in
Okay.
an apartment. I don't have a terrace. And during confinement, that was one thing that I wish I had. I
Mhm.
do love my apartment. It's quite big, you know. I have a lot of
Yes.
rooms and spaces, but like I could live with 2 bedrooms and one terrace. And I live
Mhm.
in a sunny place, like, and it's nice and warm. And right now it's the winter, but it's not actually so very cold. So uh, you have the sun, and the weather is like a little bit cold, but perfect, you know.
Mhm.
I would love to have a terrace, and I
Okay.
would love to have a place where, if my life changes and I do achieve what I want to achieve, and or if we have another confinement, I'm somewhere where I can, you know, enjoy, you know, some place, the space outdoors. You know, I really need a terrace. So one of my goals is to move.
Okay.
I really want to be conscious about it. I don't want to just move because, you know, I really need to
Mhm.
find something that it's better than this right
Okay.
now. The place
Mhm.
is perfect, you know, I'm in the middle of the city, but there's no noise around me. Like, it's
Mhm.
really cool. And so it has to be better than where I am right now. So I
Mhm.
want to do pretty much the same thing I've done
Just
when
with
I
the
found
terrace.
this house. Yeah, I want to manifest the perfect house, and I will ask for a sign, and I will find my place, you know. But I wish I wanted to
And
happen.
what will you do to manifest it?
What will I do? Uh, First, I need to write down specifically what I want, like the details.
Yes.
And then I am going to
Mhm.
ask the universe for a sign. Last time it was a yellow
Mhm.
bird, and this time I have no idea.
Yes,
Whatever
I
comes to
remember
my
that.
mind. You remember that story? I just love it. I just love it.
I do.
And this apartment was perfect for so long. You know, I love this place,
Mhm.
but it's time to move on. So I am going to write down
Tell
a.
people the story of how you found this apartment that you're in now.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking for an apartment. Oh my God. Do you know that a few days ago I just found an entry from a journal, and I was writing
Mhm.
that I was going to be in a different situation. And it's so cool because I was living in this house with terrible people. Sorry, people, but they were terrible. Okay, especially with this one guy. and you know, I was renting a room. I couldn't afford to live by myself, you know, didn't have a relationship. And I wrote down, like, I am living in this room, I don't have a relationship, but I will have everything I want, you know. And one of the things was to have this apartment. So I asked the universe for a sign, and the sign was a yellow bird. And there are not like yellow birds around. It was very weird sign. And I saw a couple of apartments that I almost rent, but something happened all the time. And then a friend of mine talked to me about this apartment. Said it has 3 bedrooms. It doesn't 3 rooms, but it doesn't have like a terrace and everything. So I came to see the house, and I was like, oh my God, this is so big, so much space. I can practice yoga in this room. I can have this room being the for people to come over, and then I can have my room over here. And I was excited, but I was like, okay. I almost forgot about the sign I asked the universe.
The yellow
But
bird.
then the yellow bird. But then I came to the living room, and I just looked like to my left, and I have this shelves over here, and there was like this plate with a yellow bird. And it was so funny. I was like, this is my house, I'm keeping it. The universe is telling me it's this house. And then there are some plates over here that also have a yellow bird, and it's like, oh my God, really?
Uh-huh.
Like, people say they don't believe, like, I do believe, seriously.
I
So
love that. I love that because
yeah.
the universe helped you find your apartment.
Yes, yes. So I want it to be the same right now. Yeah, there's no rush. The last time I was looking for an apartment, I was like, oh my God, I need to leave this house. I was feeling terribly.
Mhm.
But right now, there's no rush. I can just enjoy the process. So let's see what the universe will offer me. Let's see.
Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm. I like that. I think that's great, especially
mm.
because you're not in a rush and so you have
Yeah.
more time and you're more relaxed about finding something.
Yes. Yes. Totally right. Totally right. I want to enjoy it this time.
Mhm. Mhm. I like that.
Yes.
So my next one is very simple. I want to start running again. I used to be a runner. I used to run all the time, and it's something I stopped doing once I got more into yoga. And now I feel like my body is what it needs. Like I really have this like desire to go running again. So just want to start doing that again. Very
Oh.
simple. Kind of
Yeah.
goes with the self-care.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. And I love it. Do you have like a theme for 2021? Because sometimes we can come up with a
I think
theme.
my theme is practice self-care. It's self-care to the fullest. Like always ask yourself, is this in congruence with your health? Is this good for your self-care?
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that. That was the theme for December for me, the entire
Yeah,
month. And oh my God, I see the difference now. I'm way better now.
yeah. What would
Yes.
you say is your theme for 2021?
Getting my shit together.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I need to get my shit together because like I have stuff like I want to do, and I've been
Uh-huh.
delaying and I've been getting distracted. So I have 3 goals, nothing else. That's
All
what I'm gonna
right.
do. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Getting my shit together. That's the theme, guys. um
What's your next goal?
my next goal. I'm so excited about this goal. So I am doing this yoga teacher training on
Ah, yes.
kinetic yoga, on African yoga, and I couldn't be happier. I'm gonna start and I'm gonna finish this training, and I'm gonna start teaching kinetic yoga, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy with it. It's just like this is something that I know for sure that I am going to achieve. It's done,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's done
Yes.
because it's so obvious. I was feeling a little bit lost because I love yoga, I love the philosophy of yoga, but I was feeling a little bit lost in the social media craze, in the image of yoga, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, but a lot of white girls and detoxes and
Mm-hmm.
smoothies. And I mean, that's not me. That's not me. I'm
Yes.
not hyper flexible. And I discovered kinetic yoga, and it's just like they look like me. It's something that came from Africa. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like yoga, but it has this extra African feeling. I mean,
Mm-hmm. I
So
love how excited you are about it.
I'm
I think
very
it's,
excited,
yeah.
and sometimes I'm very tired, like in the evening, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like at 11 p.m. I'm like, looking for things. Like that's how excited I am, and I'm so happy because it's been a while since I found something that, I was hysterical about. I
Mhm.
love
Mhm.
learning. I'm always learning about yoga,
Mhm.
coaching, personal development. But this thing is like I'm going crazy over this, really,
Mhm.
and I'm very
Mhm.
excited.
I like that.
What else have we got?
My next one is saying no.
That's you got work to do. Woo, that's
Well, sometimes it's hard when you're a people pleaser and you want people to like you. It's very difficult for you to say no to something that you really don't want to do. But I think over the last 3 years, I've really learned how important it is just to say no to something that you don't want to do or that you like don't have the energy to do. And it's establishing clear boundaries with people. And I think at first people are not they're not used to you saying no, so they're gonna like push back on it. But then once
Mhm.
you become more firm about it and they know that like they can't convince you otherwise, you'll have a much better life and you'll actually prioritize your self-care.
Yeah. How are you planning on saying more no's? How is it going to
Just
happen?
no, I don't want to do this.
And how are you going
Or
to
no,
get to
thank you.
no thank you very much, but no
No,
thank you.
thank you.
But how do you think you're going to get there? Because it's difficult for you right now. Like, do you have any
Mhm.
specific actions you are thinking about taking?
I think ask myself again, start off with is this good for my health? And if I
Mm,
know that it's not, then I have a reason of why I'm saying no and I'll feel more confident in saying no.
okay. So basically, just stop a little bit before saying yes,
Yes.
considering is it healthy
Mhm.
or not? Is it good for
Mhm.
me? And then
Yeah.
saying,
Is it good for me? Is this good for my health? Does this go along with my self-care? What
mhm,
will happen if I say yes? What will happen if I say no? And
mhm,
ask myself, is this really something that you even want to do? And once
okay.
I've asked myself all those questions and answered, then I feel much more confident in saying no because I have valid reasons.
Okay. What if you accidentally say yes?
Then I will think about it as well. And then if it happens to be a no, then I will come back to the person and say, I'm so sorry I said yes, but unfortunately this is not something I can do right now.
I see you're on it. Yeah. Yes. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but you know
Yes.
what? It sounds easy for some people, but for people that are people pleasers like me, like I love people to like me. I want
Mm,
to get along. I don't want any conflict, so I'd rather just say yes instead of no. But
yes.
like I said, like I learned over the last 2 years, how important it was really just to say no to things that did not go along with what I wanted my life to be.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful decision. That's one thing that I struggle with also. But
Is saying no?
yeah, well, not so much lately, but I would work more on I for me it's more about speaking up than saying no.
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
I'm very firm with, okay, so these are my values, these are my goals, so this is how I am going to act. But then I have a problem when it comes to speaking up, depending on the
Mhm.
people.
Mhm.
So if the people I'm talking to is very, those people where like they're like strong personalities
Yes.
and aggressive, I would say,
Yes.
not
Yes.
necessarily very aggressive, but this type of aggressive personality is this is
Mhm.
like this. And so then I would have a problem with speaking up, or sometimes saying yes when I don't want to, or say nothing just because I don't want to say no and have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
I know. But saying no to somebody else is saying yes to yourself.
exactly.
And you just have to remind yourself that like yes, I'm saying yes, saying yes to myself is more important than saying no to this other person.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that I would love to work on myself, and then I'm trying to do this in therapy, is just to be confident enough, uh, and don't depend so much on the situations. Because most of the time I
Mhm.
am very confident, but then on certain situations, I just chicken myself.
Mhm.
You say that, chicken myself? I don't know.
Yeah, you
But
chicken out.
yeah. And then I just don't recognize myself.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't act like me, but I may, be quiet, don't speak as much, and I'm this light and this,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be myself
You
all
want to be your authentic self.
yeah, exactly. So I'm working on it. That's
Mm-hmm.
another goal besides of the big ones.
Yes. So what's your third one?
Coach people, like
Okay.
seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I've been delaying. Seriously, I made up so many things to do. So I don't do
Mm-hmm.
this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
being 100% honest right now.
Yes.
I made up many things. I created a YouTube channel, I created the web page, and then I decided that I wanted to have this coaching program. And then I wasn't so sure about the coaching program. I mean, come on, I just need to start doing it. And I've been delaying this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am freaking certified, So many
Yes.
people are not even certified and they're working and they're doing stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
I am like, I don't know what the hell is going on in my head. So, yes, I'm going to start coaching people like for real,
Uh-huh.
do the actions that I know that I need to take on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really love to write a book and stuff, but like I have my whole life to have to write a book, right? So I
Exactly.
just get distracted with so many things and it's just like I'm going to stop seriously. So these three
Mm-hmm.
goals, this is what I'm going to work on,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest it's going to come. I know it's going to come in the future, so I'm going to
I
start
like
coaching people for real.
I like what you said. You have your whole life to write a book. I was so focused on writing my story that I didn't
Mm.
realize that like I can write it at any time, and maybe now is not the right time. Maybe I
Yes.
need the story to unfold a little bit more to have more to say. So I got off like I stopped doing like what you said, always like because I think as Geminis we always love learning and we love doing stuff that like
Exactly
we
what I
don't.
was about to say.
Yeah, we focus so much on the learning that we don't actually do what we've learned.
Yeah, and we're like we have different interests and
Mhm.
we can do anything.
Yes.
Seriously, as Gemini, or well, our personalities, we can learn anything. Seriously,
Mhm.
if you see a list of jobs that I had in my life,
Yes.
my God, I was selling insurance, like, you know what I mean? And supervisor and working with numbers. Like, can you imagine
Yes.
me working with numbers? I did that. So we can do so many things and we
Mhm.
love learning that
Mhm.
we get lost in the way. We're like, oh, so this year I'm getting my
It's
shit
so
together.
true.
Isn't it? Oh my
It's very
God.
true.
I hope a lot of people will relate to us because I think
Yes.
it's normal. I know a
It
lot of
is
people like
normal.
that. We get
Mhm.
distracted in life. So
Yes.
this year I'm gonna do these three things and that's it.
So my last one is to laugh more often.
Uh,
Very
oh,
simple,
yeah.
but just do activities that make you laugh. Maybe read the comics on in the newspaper, just read some jokes, but
Uh-huh.
really just make an effort to laugh more often.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I love to laugh more often. Okay, you know what? You just inspired me to have a list of personal goals just to have it there. So I
Yeah.
can remind myself that I need to look at my self care and work on my
Mhm.
confidence. I will add something to my bullet journal on those terms just to make sure I have these things because they are the base of everything,
Mhm.
right? So if
Mhm.
we don't have our values and our self-care in place, then there's nothing we can do. Yes, it's easier
Mhm.
to get
Mhm.
distracted and everything.
And of course, there are goals that I had that I would love to do, but maybe because of COVID, it doesn't work. For example,
Hmm.
like I would love to move to Europe. Well, right now is not the right time to be moving
Yeah,
countries because of what's going on. So
yeah.
I have to wait until Corona settles down, which is okay, but that's another goal that I have that's just
Hmm.
not in my New Year's resolution.
Yeah. How did you come up with your New Year's resolution? Did you have a process or something?
I just asked myself like what is it that I really needed this year and what is it that went really well and what is it that I really want to continue doing to keep me healthy.
Hmm.
That's the process that I went through. What about you?
Yeah. I just pretty much just focused on what I wanted. Like, what is it that you want? I looked at my last year goals and I thought about, okay, so do you still want this? Do you need this?
Mhm.
Is this like, and I took a lot of things that they were just there, taking space for
Yes.
nothing. And I do need to take some steps before I jump into those things.
Mhm.
As I said, I was just getting distracted, and it feels very good to finally have a sense of what is it that I really want to do, and just focus on that, and being honest with myself, and say,
Yes.
okay, Erica, you are getting distracted for nothing. You're just scared. Just go do whatever you need to do.
I think a lot of times people just make their New Year's resolutions absent-mindedly, like, oh, I want, or unrealistically, like they're not realistic goals. Like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
want to lose 50 pounds by, by so and so. I want to travel to 7 countries. I want
Mm.
to have this much money. And a lot of times those are just not realistic goals. It's just something that you want, but it's not able to come into fruition.
Yeah, or either you are writing things down and you are not actually thinking it through. Like, how many of us, I remember when I was 20 something, just writing a list of 10 things, and
Mhm.
the guy
Mhm.
I wanted, and just like, do you need all those things? Like, what
Mhm.
are your next steps in life? I would focus
Mhm.
on that. What is the lifestyle that you want to have? And
Mhm.
what is it that you can do like next year to help you get there? You can have a
Mhm.
10-year vision, but if you focus on
Yeah.
10 years, you are never going to get there, because it's going to be always 10 years from now.
Exactly.
So I
Exactly.
rather focus on something like, you know, in the near future.
Yeah.
But I do
And
know of things that I want to do 10 years from now, but not focusing on that right now.
yeah.
Mm.
I love what you said about getting your shit together this year. That's something that I really want to do as well. It just wasn't one of my goals, but I'm glad you mentioned it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest. Like, with reason, I was lost.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, with reason, I was lost. Life was tough on me this year,
Mhm.
and life was very kind with me as well, and it was tough as well at the
Mhm.
same time. So with reason, I was lost, and I don't like feeling lost. So
Mhm.
so I really needed to, put the pieces again, and just like when you're cleaning the house, it's a mess.
Mhm.
You start
Mhm.
cleaning it, and then you start coming back to yourself. And then when you go through a difficult situation, you when you stop suffering so much, you start
Mhm.
thinking about, okay, so what is it important right now? And
Exactly.
all of the clutter just disappears.
Mhm.
That's what happened to me, and it's crazy. But suffering, pain is a teacher. I told you the other episode, I think
Yes.
2 episodes ago, that's one of the things I learned.
Mhm. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
Woo! 2021. Oh my God. I don't know. Let's hope for the better. Let's hope for the
Yeah.
better.
I agree. I think it's going to be a better year in general.
You think so?
I think so.
Generally speaking, like for humanity or for you?
Yes, for humanity, I think it's going to be a better year because I think a lot of people this year realize like just how similar we are. Like this virus did not
Mhm.
discriminate against anyone. It put us all on equal footing, and it made you realize that we're all the same. Like it can affect anybody.
It is true. At the same time, I'm also worried about the situation
Mhm.
in general. Because, I mean, for example, here in Tenerife with the job situation, like there's no tourism again. There's no tourism.
Right.
Like, and that's how this island feeds, you know?
Live, yeah, lives, yeah.
Like, we feed out of tourism,
A lot of countries do.
right? So it's going to be very tough to some people. It's going to be
Mhm.
very tough. And I do understand that I'm in a position of like, oh my God, this is like, I'm very, very lucky, because
Mhm.
I look around and I have some friends, they lost their jobs, they went back to their
Mhm.
countries and stuff like that. And I
Mhm.
know that it's going to be tough on some people.
Yes.
Uh, whew. So I don't know. I think that if you took your opportunity to learn, you are going to be okay next year. if you are kind of in denial, next year is going to be difficult.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I will wait and see. I have mixed feelings about 2021. Personally, I
Yeah.
think it's going to be a very good year for me. I think I'm going to learn a lot, and I think I'm going to
Mhm.
grow a lot.
Mhm.
And that usually comes with a little bit of friction. So,
Yes, of course.
so bring it.
But it's good that you already know that, so
I know
like you're
that. Yeah.
prepared.
I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Well, we
Yes.
love to hear from our audience. We love to hear what are your New Year's resolutions. What do you want to change in the coming year? What do you want to keep the same? How is your life going to change in the next year? And how did you come up with your New Year's resolutions? Like, what did you do? Did you go through a process?
Yeah, let us know. And thank you very much for watching and for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Bye.
Bye.